something.
Alright, and here we go. It is game 2 between Harstem and JayPower. And Harstem, of course, is now up 1-0, and in the top left corner of the map, we find our blue Dutch Protoss player. It is JayPower.
Yep, and his opponent from Team Fnatic, it is the pink Protoss player, Harstem. And
Good.
I'm pretty sure if you are Dutch right now, you've already got your orange gear ready for the World Championship Soccer. So get that orange gear real fast, just before this game really picks up pace. Put it on and make some pictures. Tweet them. If anyone does that, actually, then I'm gonna be super happy. How about you, Ferg?
Oh, I'm gonna be ecstatic about it, definitely. So yeah, like you got any orange gear, just gear up in your orange lion suit and tweet us a picture of you watching the Dutch StarCraft League. That'd be amazing. We're gonna retweet that.
Sure.
Of course, if it's an appropriate picture, everybody.
Or if you're female. Oh wait, no. Yeah.
Sorry.
Appropriate. There we go. We do see gateway first from both of these players, and would expect nothing else on this map, and we're gonna have to see a little bit of deviation after that. I mean, Harstem actually went for the DT shrine last game, and JayPower anticipated Dark Templars, and he made a lot of defenses against it. Frank, he made a photon cannon in his mineral line. He got an observer, and eventually he just said, well, you're probably gonna get some defense. I'm not gonna make DTs. It's too much of a risk, and that's not something you see that often.
That is where the mind games come in, right? I mean, Harstem, knowing that JayPower would prepare, did not make any Dark Templar. That is where chess starts to differ from. Where chess starts. That is where StarCraft gets interesting, right? So everybody can control a probe. Well, that's also not true. Harstem could probably beat me with only one probe, but it's the strategy part where it comes in, where showing your opponent certain information and withholding other information, or reacting upon what your opponent knows about your strategy. That is where levels upon levels get stacked. And at some point, you just lose yourself and think, well, he thinks that he thinks that I'm going to, so I'm just going to do X. And at some point, you're going to lose yourself in the complexity there. But part of it is knowing your opponent as well. If you know that your opponent is on the cautious side, you might anticipate him anticipating your strategy, so not going for it, etc. So that's what Harstem did in the previous game, building the tech structure for the Dark Templar, but not using them until quite later on when he defended against a drop from JayPower.
Yep, and of course one of the things you also have to factor in, which is a huge deal in StarCraft, is not just the fact that both of these players are making a Stargate, which I would like to note, but stress is also very much a big factor in StarCraft. You're playing to go to an offline event in the Dutch StarCraft League. You really want to do that, and of course you're gonna be a little bit stressed, and these players are both excellent players, but it's also experience in these kind of situations that can factor into that, and I would give Harstem a small edge over JayPower in that perspective, and especially after winning the first game, he's gonna be feeling comfortable. So JayPower really has to make something happen, and Stargate against Stargate, which should mean we should see Phoenixes. We're gonna see Phoenixes, because if one of them would have made an Oracle, they would have basically lost the game here.
Yep. So what if one of the players opted not to build any air units at all, and instead went something that countered that? Is that possible?
Oh, it's sure it's possible, but you're going to be losing 150 minerals and 150 gas because you made that Stargate, and you're not going to be using it when one of the best anti-Phoenix units are just more Phoenix. So I'm pretty sure that they're making the right call. And defending in this position is pretty easy because you have the Mothership Core, and once it gets the photon overcharge, you're always going to have a slight edge as long as you keep making Phoenixes and you keep chrono boosting them, and both players are still making Phoenixes and chrono boosting them. So this is going to be a very interesting game.
This is like an arms race, and whoever moves out first, whoever gets the first shot off, can be at an advantage. We see the Phoenix actually coming. Who shoots first? Both! They shoot at the same time. Whoa.
I think at the end of that, we've got 80 HP and 80 HP, so that was exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Here we go again. Oh, first shot by Harstem, I think. But JayPower there, he got his Mothership Core there to tank some of the damage.
Well, and actually, JayPower got the better end of that, because he's the only guy that didn't take any hull damage. He only took shield damage, so he's gonna have a slight edge in the next engagement, should at least, and we're gonna see that pretty soon. I feel like Harstem's moving. The weakened Phoenix is back. He's actually adding adding gateways, and we could see a photon overcharge pretty soon. It has to be close for that to happen, though. Yep, it should be now. There we go.
And a recall, actually. Okay, so no damage done to JayPower's army, and a photon overcharge forced by Harstem, so he lost some energy on his mothership core, and some actually some hit points as well.
Yep. I mean, JayPower is so far doing pretty good. And one of the funniest things right now, Frank, is this: there's a pylon next to a pylon from both players.
Talk about similar strategies, right?
Yep. Talk about similar strategies and positions right there. As Harstem does fly over the next pylon from JayPower and actually picks up a probe. That was scouting on the map, so he's a small win there. Harstem is actually down in supply a little bit, which I don't know what he's doing it for, but he's got 400 minerals, so he might be expanding. I'm not sure. He's adding zealots and stalkers for the time being.
So you had this old saying in PvP, right? Whoever expands first dies first. Is that still true?
Well, with JayPower getting the Twilight Council, I don't think expanding would be the smartest choice for Harstem. It's not always true, especially when you have a sentry opener or an opener on a big map. You can make something happen with an expansion, but with Phoenixes, it's gonna be a little bit hard, Frank, because they're so fast, right?
Did you see that happen, by the way? JayPower warped in a unit in the power field of the pylon that was under attack, but the unit, while warping in, got lifted up by a Phoenix.
Yeah. I did see that.
Right, so that's actually something I didn't know. That so units who are in the process of being warped in can be lifted, and
oh my god!
And so did the warping in unit got killed by the Phoenixes, or did it get killed because it was lifted while it was warping in?
No, it got killed by the Phoenixes, but actually a hilarious situation. You can see by the two pylons that both players warped in zealots, and Harstem won that toss. They were both like, nope, that pylon is not staying here. But Harstem is actually getting the better end of some engagements here. He's also cleaning up the pylons from JayPower, and he has a little bit of an edge, and JayPower is expanding, so we're gonna put that statement to the test: does the player that expands first lose? And in this situation, I feel like JayPower might be at the wrong side of the stick with that expansion, but Harstem is just ignoring it, and he's trying to get a few shots up from the Phoenixes with the Stalkers as well, and gets warded away by the cannon.
Did Harstem see the Dark Shrine? No, he did not. So there is actually a Dark Shrine in play right now.
Yeah, but
coming up.
He can make an Oracle, which is detection. He doesn't have a Robo, but he can make an Oracle. But he's gonna be warded away by that, so that's gonna be good for Jay because he wants to get that expansion up. But he is supply blocked right now because all of the pylons he's been losing.
Tough times for JayPower. Behind in supply, being under attack in his own main base.
He can still make something happen with the Dark Temple, like you said. That's a good move. He's also lifting up some of these Stalkers. He is in range of the big cannon of the Nexus, and he's actually killing quite a lot, but he's losing quite a lot as well. He might lose the Mothership Core here as well, and he's losing all of the Phoenixes. This is really good for Harstem right now, and there are Dark Templars, but they're not going to be able to target these Phoenixes, Frank.
That's true. The Phoenixes reign supreme, but these Stalkers are going to get taken down, but not, of course, before taking some probes with them as well. But I'm not sure if did Harstem realize that there's. Yes, he did realize there's a Dark Templar on the map because he is now building an Oracle. Oh, actually, shit! There was actually something going on in Harstem base, which was quite significant. Harstem is protecting his Stargate with his probes so that the DTs wouldn't take it down before he got an Oracle. And now the Oracle's out, cast his spell, so he got detection now, and the Dark Templar was warded away and killed off. There we go.
That actually makes a lot of sense that JayPower staying in this game because of that. Because that Oracle is going to be out of energy and there's going to be more DTs. And they could run into his base, snipe that Stargate, and he would be in a lot of trouble actually. Yeah. He has to start another Oracle just in case. Well, he always will have that one Oracle, but JayPower does have an Archon. So the Archon's going to be pretty good against Stalkers. But GG.
JayPower GG's.
Yeah.